Okay, let's have a look at the Euro US for the 12th of November. You can see that there was no activity in Frankfurt, and then a very strong price move just into London. Now, I can't trade price moves like that. It's not because of the channel forecasting method. That is still a very reliable trigger and take profit position. However, my stop loss is very small. I'm scalping a normal market, which gives me a stop loss generally of 4.5 to 5.5. When the market's moving so quickly and with such a large range, a stop loss of that is too tight. You'd need to halve your lot size and double your stop loss. My preference, though, is to not trade it. There's not a lot of information in here that I can analyze between this point and this point, so makes it a little harder for me to determine 50%. All right, let's have a quick academic look, though, at this session. One of the things that you should always do with channel trading is review the last channel. So you can see here that the market, if you see click there and you see click the low, you're expecting a bounce here, you're expecting a bounce here, and you're expecting a bounce here. Okay, if the channel breaks, now this is a tight channel, so the double channel is 15 pips, so 7.5 pip channels. You want that sort of build up of pressure for a reasonable bounce. Now, when it does bounce at this, your expectation is purely that it will reach back to this level. Now, in this case, it goes all the way to the top, which is in turn a build up of pressure to release to this value. So in effect, you can see the ping-ponging effect. We're looking for the bounces with enough stored energy to get us to break even and hopefully to break the channel. But as I said, one of the best things you can do is to surround the last range and not take a trade until it gets to that level. All right, now let's have a look at that in a larger scope. You can see here it ranged from this high, so C click the high, C click the low, so you should not be looking at taking a trade until here. Same with take profit on any short. All right, so that's a very important method. You can see the market was in that range, so you should not be looking at taking a trade until somewhere along that line. This is why I don't like parabolic moves. There's nothing for us to assess in here, so we would be using this one, this low, as a bounce point, which it turns out to be. But the last channel is always a good guide for where you should be looking for your trigger or your take profit. Okay, let's view this. We know that channel was broken. We would expect it to bounce here. It does so, but continues through. That's not an indication of the end of the move. It's just an indication of a highly probable bounce point. Same through here. The market bounced where we expected it to bounce, and then bounced here. Now, while that is the last range, you can see that there is no historical evidence before this value through here. So that helps you define your 50%, and you look down here for your 25%. Okay, so they're just a breakup of micro channels. Channel 1 to channel 2. Channel 2 gives us channel 4, and we reach up through channel 3 in the process. So there would be your take profit on this leg through here. All right, now the market maintains some level of volatility through the early London session, then peters out before New York takes it longer. Whenever you have enough historical data, first analysis tip is to look at the last range and then look at the 50%. So we're looking for a bounce around this value, and then we analyze this through here accordingly. So hide that channel. Okay, that pulls back to there. We're expecting a bounce around this value. Then you go back historically. There's a little bit too much noise through there. You can see a lone wick there and a lone wick there. I would CV click. I would be looking at that as being the pivot point, or if you're even more aggressive in determining your triggers, that one. Now, what you can do, instead of sitting there hanging out exposed and putting an entry order on this area waiting for it to come down, wait for a failure in that zone. All right? The market comes down, bounces, put an entry order there. Now, very simple to do. I use the SD or the BN. BN gives me an entry order long. SD click gives me a short order entry order, pending order. You can do it with MT4. I think it's a right click, but work out how to best place an entry order and set up the parameters you want. I use Wolf Trading for it. Makes it fast for me, and you can see here that you've got multiple taps on that line before the market actually goes up. You generally have the time, if you are more aggressive and you're concerned with a single spike, then your entry order would be placed off something historical. So in this case, we would use, I'll just put an X click on that high, and I'll hide the channel. So your entry order would be there. Now I like using historical information. Once again, that's why this sort of move gives us no indication of where we can place our entry orders. On the way down here, however, you can see that we do have a price point to place our order on. All right, I won't go through the American session. Once again, this is academic. My view of these, if you are short and you get that, take the money, put it in your pocket, leave, and then come back the next day, or come back later in the session. I hope this analysis has been helpful for you. Good luck with your trading today. I will come back and review Friday's session tomorrow. Bye.